Okay, so this is for my Spanish extra credit grammar concept video in the preterite and imperfect tenses. So both tenses are used to describe the past. However, they can be used individually to describe certain situations, but also in a complex sentence to describe a certain situation that occurred. So in the preterite tense, it's used to describe specific events of the past, which can include completed actions, completed events, or an interrupted action that we'll later learn for complex sentences. Two examples of this are Anoche hubo una tormenta in Irvine, and the second sentence is Mi madre y mi padre llegaron a la fiesta 20 minutos tarde. So the first sentence is basically stating that there was a storm in Irvine, but it's the fact that it was this complete event, this one event alone that's already done. And the second sentence is describing that my mom and dad arrived late, but it's that they arrived late. It was that completed event that it was occurred at a specific moment, which was 20 minutes late to the party. The air of conjugations are yo tu haste, ustedes o, él ella o, nosotros amos, vosotros vosotras hasteis, ustedes harán, and ellos ellas harán. And the ir verbs conjugations are yo y, tú iste, usted yo, él ella yo, nosotros nosotros imos, vosotros vosotras isteis, ustedes ieron, and ellos ellas ieron. So the imperfect tense is used to describe ongoing things in the past. This includes descriptions of weather, time, emotion, what you did in the past, such as recurring events, and what we'll later learn for complex sentences, background before an event changes. So the examples of this are ellos estaban en la casa durante la fiesta, and cuando en la escuela yo estudiaba en los días cuando tenía una prueba. So this basically means that the first sentence describes that I was in the house during the party, so it's describing what happened at the party, or that they were at the house during the party, and the second sentence is cuando en la escuela yo estudia en los días, so it's basically saying back when I was in school, I studied on the days, but it's the fact that on the days that I had a test, or on a quiz, but it's the fact that it's recurring, which makes it imperfect. And the AR conjugations for this verb are yo aba, tu abas, usted aba, él ella aba, nosotros abamos, with an accent on the first A, vosotros abais, ustedes aban, ellos ellas aban. And the IR conjugations are yo ia, tu ias, usted ia, él ella ia, nosotros íamos, vosotros iais, ustedes ion, and ellos ellas ion. Okay, so now we're going to practice using the preterite and imperfect tense. So the first sentence, cuando era niño, yo jugaba con mi tren eléctrico. So this sentence would be imperfect. Yay. So this is because when you say cuando era niño, it's saying when I was a kid, but it's the fact that this happened multiple times and you don't know that it happened just once. So jugaba is also the conjugation for imperfect. So the second sentence, Lina y yo salimos la casa. Lina and so this is basically preterite. Because salimos, it means that he left at the house, and you know it's a specific action that you know occurred. The third sentence, I don't know if you already saw, me rompí la rodilla. I broke my knee. It'd be preterite. I broke my knee. It's something that's specific, and it's not really describing anything. It's an action, breaking a knee. Sentence 4, a little bit longer. En la día de la fiesta está nublado y había muchas personas. This would be imperfect because it's saying that estaba nublado. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. Estaba nublado. And it's describing the weather of that day, and había muchas personas, so there were many people. But it's again describing this party, which makes it imperfect. And finally, last sentence, ellos usaron la computadora para hacer el proyecto. this sentence would be preterite. And this is because they use the computer to work on a project, and it's a specific action. But complex sentences. Preterite versus imperfect. So both of these can go into one sentence, and it usually involves one ongoing action and one interruption. The imperfect verb is the ongoing, and the preterite is the interruption. An example of this is yo cocinaba la cena para yo cuando me queme. And it's basically stating that I was cooking my dinner when I burned myself. And obviously what was going on was that I was cooking, but then I burned myself. So that's the interruption. It interrupted my cooking. And so let's practice now. So, yo estaba comiendo mi comida cuando mi perro robó el pollo de mi plato. So, what do you guys think the preterite and imperfect verbs are? Okay, so if you said that yo estaba and robo were the verbs, that's right. So the imperfect verb would be yo estaba, yo estaba, and the preterite would be mi perro robo. And this is because I was eating, so it's saying that over this period of time I was eating. You could also say yo. You don't have to do yo estaba comiendo. That's just saying I was eating, but it's the same as saying yo comía mi comida. Which means just I was eating. So they're the same thing, but mi perro robo, my dog robbed the chicken from my plate. So that's a specific action that just occurred at a certain moment. And the second sentence, ellos comían el desayuno cuando su madre llegó. They were eating their breakfast when their mom arrived. And so this sentence, the comían would be the imperfect, and the preterite would be lego. So this is because they were eating, which was ongoing, and then lego would be the interruption. And a good hint of this is, when something says cuando something something verb, then whichever part of the sentence involves the cuando, that's the split. Or if it's in the middle of the sentence, that usually means that the preterite verb is going to be following it, but if it's at the beginning, then it might mean that the imperfect is. But that's just kind of a side pointer. Third sentence, cuando yo manejaba a mi casa, una explosión ocurrió en la escuela. So when I was driving to my house, an explosion occurred at school. Manejaba would be the imperfect. Ocurrió would be the preterite. This is because the explosion occurred at a certain moment. But then I was driving, which was ongoing, and the explosion basically it didn't interrupt my driving, but it happened at that one certain moment while I was driving. So the fourth sentence, ella escuchaba música cuando, and I put an accent there. I don't know if you can see. I didn't leave it blank or anything. Música cuando su madre murió. So it basically means she was listening to music when her mom died. So she was listening to music that was just ongoing, and then her mom died. That was a specific action. Very sad. May she rest in peace. And the last sentence, yo quería ir a dormir cuando empezó la prueba. So the imperfect verb would be quiera, and empezó would be the preterite, because I started the quiz, but before that I wanted to sleep. So quizzes suck. Just kidding. They're good for you. They test your knowledge on things. So that's all I have for you guys today. Adios.